Good morning, everyone. Wow, True Blood was nuts last night. It was called And When I Die. It's the season finale for 2011. Opens up, Lafayette is inside, Marty's inside Lafayette and talking to Jesus out on the porch there. And Jesus kind of gets wind that Marty's inside Lafayette, and so Lafayette, Marty stick a fork through Lafayette's hand, and Sookie is talking to Tara about Gran. She has like an image of Gran. She sees an image of Gran laying on the floor in her kitchen. And they're sitting there talking about what she would have to say about all these goings on. Gran would tell her, you know, just try to keep yourself out of trouble some more, will you? And Sam and Mrs. Thornberry, they're standing over Tommy's grave. Mrs. Thornberry's saying how Tommy was such a good son to her, but wasn't really her son. She just took him in after Hoyt ran off with Jessica. And now wants Sam to call her Mom. Then Sam's new girlfriend and their child walk up to the graves also. And Marty well, right before that, Jason tells Hoyt that he made love with Jessica. Hoyt pretty much just punches him in the nose twice and kicks him. He's a little upset about the whole thing. I don't think they're going to be best friends anymore. And Marty is torturing Jesus, wants his power, you know, when he turns as that horned figure. So she has him do that, turn into that creature, and then as he does that, she stabs him with a knife in the chest, licks the knife, has that power for herself. Jesus is dead, though. So, it's Halloween, by the way, that day. Sookie goes back to Merlotte's, talks to Sam, gets her job back. Well, he never knew she knew. Sam didn't know that Tommy had fired Sookie. So he just goes along with it, says, I was in a bad mood that day, I'm sorry. Of course you can come back to work, but you have to start right away. And Tara finds Jesus dead. Takes off back to Merlotte's and sees Holly and Sookie talking about Halloween and all that stuff. And what she found. The three of them head off to Bill's house, where Lafayette / Marty, of course, has Eric and Bill tied to a stake and put a bunch of firewood under them, gonna light them up. So while Bill and Sookie keep Lafayette, Marty talking, Holly walks around and makes a circle of salt around the whole outside of the thing. Then the three of them, Tara and Holly and Sookie, join hands and start an incantation where they bring the dead back up out of the ground along with Grant and Antonia. Antonia blows the fire out. Freaking Marty's freaking out, you know, as Lafayette. Grant walks over because Marty's saying, I'm not getting out of this fight. Grant just walks over, grabs him by the throat, and pulls Marty, out of Lafayette, throws her over on the ground. Then Antonia talks to Marty, explains to her, you're going to come to a better place now. You just come along with us. And all the rest of the dead people walk back into the woods, into the grave site. You know, the graveyard between Bill's house and Sookie's house. But for one, Arlene's ex, he goes over to Arlene, scares the hell out of her, Jesus out of her, and tells her to watch out for Terry. Something bad's going to happen with him. And he disappears, goes off into the night. Now, Sookie's at home. Now, Sookie lets Eric and Bill chow down on her wrists so they can get better from getting pretty charred up on this steak that was on fire. They're all better, but she's telling both of them, listen, I can't make a decision between the two of you. So you see her just crying out on the porch. You figure that's the end of the show. No. Sookie goes back to her house, and Debbie's there, walks in, and Tara's there too. Debbie's about to shoot Sookie. Tara jumps in front of her, takes a shotgun shell to the head. Pretty sure she's dead. Now, they're setting up next season, so Andy's making nice with Holly, you know, the witch from Merlot's. And Sam is talking to his new girlfriend. And but then when she goes away, he turns and there's a werewolf standing there. Then it goes back to Jessica is leaving for the night. Did I mention that Jessica showed up at Jason's house looking unbelievable? Unbelievable. And they make love. Jessica says, hey, listen, I'm going to keep it on. We're just strictly, you know, sex buddies for now anyway. And, you know, Jason, how he is, he says, oh, I'm okay with that. And she's leaving for the night. And they're talking about that. Now, Reverend shows up at Jason's house after Jessica leaves. The Reverend from like 2 seasons ago. Last season, can't remember. 2 seasons ago. And he's a vamp. But Jason hasn't invited him in the house or anything. Also, Russell's gotten out. And then she shows up at Bill's, talk to Eric, saying there's a hit out on their heads. Also tells him she's been fired by the AVL. And she wants them to join her as a revolution against the AVL, right? Well, I don't think they're into it because they kill Nan. They kill Nan and her 2 bodyguards. Eric takes out the 2 bodyguards, and Bill puts the stake right through Nan's heart. Now, then all that stuff happened with Debbie that I told you about. Oh, and Sookie kills Debbie in turn. So a lot of people died. And that's the end of the season. And I will thank you all for your participation throughout this season for 2011. And hopefully, if all goes well, I will see you 2012 for next season. By the way, Sean made me a new banner for the interim time between the 2 seasons, and I put up a pic of Sookie on my main page. The links are still there. You can run your mouse across the base of them, and the links are still there to take you over to True Blood and Uncle Dave X and Uncle Dave X and Facebook. The names of the different things show up at the bottom left of your corner of your screen. And I'll catch you all back on it too. I know this was a long one. It's tough to get through, but I'm not going to skimp on the finale. Good night, everyone. Oh, good morning. Well, it's just 7 o'clock time. Good news. Later.